Good afternoon, folks. I'm here in the backyard at home today. Today is December 12th, and Christmas came a little bit early at my house. Yesterday, my wife got a package in the mail, and she said, "Oh, can you cut this open for me?" So I whipped out my pocket knife, cut the box open, and she said, "Go ahead and pull it out of the box." And as I started to pull it out of the box, I recognized something that looked familiar. Top of the case. So I pulled it the rest of the way out of there, opened it up, and inside, Model 275, June of 1979. So this is my birthday lantern, made the month and the year that I was born. She told me that she wanted me to go ahead and open it up in case there was anything wrong with it, so that she could see what we have to do if there was anything wrong with it. And unfortunately, when I opened it up, pulled it out of the case, even though they had it bubble wrapped, they had the lantern bubble wrapped inside the case and had the case bubble wrapped inside the box, there's still the broken glass. She had bought it off eBay. The seller made it right. They refunded us $50 for the broken glass, which you can get another picket fence tapered globe for $50 on eBay. So I feel like that was a very reasonable amount to refund us, but unfortunately it does have a broken glass. So I didn't do anything with the lantern yesterday when she gave it to me, because I was waiting to see if we were possibly going to have to ship it back or something maybe. The guy just refunded us $50. We don't have to ship it back. So today I'm going to see if I can get it going. But the first thing I'm going to do is super glue this broken picket fence globe back together. See if it'll hold and if I can still use it. It's a pretty clean break. There's not broken in little shards or anything. As a matter of fact, I think pieces will probably go back together pretty well. Yeah, actually very nicely. So that's going to be my first step. I am working on this outside today. I didn't take it out to Dad's because we got a sick kid here at home, so I'm sticking around the house today. So I don't know, I didn't read the instructions on this super glue, but I'm pretty sure they probably say to go ahead and use it on a day when it's 36 degrees outside. And the instructions probably say somewhere to glue it when it's about 36 degrees and then just let it sit out in the 36 degree temperature and dry for a while, and then heat it right up to about 500 degrees when you light the lantern. I'm sure that's exactly how they want you to use this and cure the super glue. I figure I can't hurt it. It's already broken. So I'll glue it back together. I'll let it sit here in the sun. And then if I get the lantern to burn, it will get heated right up and have a chance to cure really well. So yeah, I haven't even looked too terribly close at the lantern yet, other than seeing that that was broken, but it looks like everything's here. It sounds like it's bone dry. The pump looks, oh no, there it goes. At first the pump wasn't pumping, but then it started. All right, I'm gonna put a few drops of oil in here. This can says liquid wrench. It's an old liquid wrench can, but I've refilled it with Marvel Mystery Oil. I'll put a little bit on the shaft there too. So put a little bit of Marvel Mystery Oil on the leather. I'm not even going to pull it out of there because after I pumped it a few times, it did start pumping. Yeah, it seems like it's pumping real well now. And we'll pump a little bit of pressure. And then we'll pull the fuel cap off here and see. Well, that sounds good, but that doesn't smell good. That smells like old pump gas. Let's get the old pocket flashlight out here and take a look inside the tank. It looks good. Looks nice and clean. The inside of the cap looks nice. The gasket looks good. It does not look bad in there, but it definitely smells like some rotten pump gas. It is bone dry in there though, so that is good news. I'm gonna put a little bit more pressure back in it again, and I'm gonna crack this valve open. These Model 275s have a valve that when you open the valve, it runs the tip cleaner, and then when you get over to the light position, the tip cleaner comes down, and then when you get down to the burn position, it goes to full throttle on the fuel. So we're just going to pump it up a little bit. And then I'll get it up close to the camera, see if the camera here can hear anything and if I can hear anything when I open the valve. Of course a car went by right then. I don't know if the camera will pick that up or not, but it's passing air. So that is a very good sign. This might be as simple as just fueling it and lighting it. Alright, since this thing smells like rotten pump gas in there, I'm going to give it a generous splash of sea foam in there, and then I will fill it up with white gas. Let's see here. I'm gonna slide it over right to the edge of the table here. I'm gonna fill it up with fuel. The inside of the tank, even though it's stinky, it looked nice and clean in there, so it probably is a good thing that whoever used it ran it clear out of fuel, and there was none of that old rotten pump gas left in there. It just smells like it. That is pretty full. I showed you the cap gasket. I think looks pretty darn good, so I'll just tighten it down good tight. Let's see, it's about 1:34 in the afternoon. I'm gonna put new manholes on this, pump it up, and we'll see if it'll burn. If it does, I'll let it go a couple hours, and then I've got to go to my oldest boy's basketball game at 4 o'clock tonight. Before I leave, I'll shut it off, fill it clear up with fuel again, start it back up, pump it up real good, and I'll leave it go, see if it's still going when I come back. That'll be a couple hours time that I'm gone, so that'll give it a good test to see if it'll stay burning for a while. Get on there, mantle. There we go. It's only about 35 or 36 degrees out here, but it's really not too bad. There's a little bit of breeze, but not excessive, and the sun's shining here right now, so it really feels pretty decent out here. This is why I usually pause the camera when I'm tying mantles on, because I am sure this is not very exciting to watch. But you know what? I'm already halfway through it now. So I'm just going to let the camera keep rolling. The camera's been having some issues that I think might be related to it overheating, but seems to be working just fine out here in the 35 degrees with a little bit of breeze blowing. Oh, come on. I am fumbling like crazy. There we go. Let's see, I don't believe I pumped that back up after I put fuel in it, so I think I'll cut these strings off. And then I'm gonna set the set the globe back down on there. I think that glue is dry enough to hold it together. And we'll check it here. Yep, got a couple drips in the super glue, but that's not that big a deal. Put that side towards the back, then you can't see it anyway. Fortunately, it did break right on the back. It didn't break up here close to the Coleman logo. All right, I'm going to pump this up, but I'm not going to put the top on it until I burn the mantles in. That way I can just raise the globe up a little bit to burn the mantles in, but I can still have the globe sitting in place to block the wind. It's not bad out here, but there is a little bit of breeze blowing. That should be enough pressure to light it, I would think. Let's see here. I got a lighter out here, but I don't know how well it's going to work being out here in the cold. We'll find out. Yeah, it's not going to work. That's how well it's going to work. The old propane torch will still work even in the cold. We can turn that down quite a bit. It doesn't need to be going that hot. It'll work even in the cold. Alright, now while those mantles are burning a little bit more, I'll go ahead and stick the top back on there. Let's see, you got to line this up with the slot in there, and once you get it on there, you can't see the slot worth a darn anymore. There we go. So could it really be as simple as just gluing the glass back together and filling her up with fuel, pumping it up, and lighting it? We're about to find out. Will this fit in through the lighter hole on there even? No, these 275s have a really small lighter hole on them, and nothing seems like it fits in there well. All right, let's see if it lights. That's in the light position, and by golly, it looks like it's starting to light. Now let's switch it to the run position. Let's pump a little bit more pressure in there now. Let's see here. Let's turn that. There we go. When you turn that up past there, it turns the tip cleaner on it. Well, I know that doesn't look impressively bright out here in the bright afternoon sunlight, but it is burning pretty good and bright. I'm gonna leave it going. Like I said, right now it's about 142 now. So I'm just going to let it sit here and burn. I'll come back out and check on it. And at about 3:15 or so, before I get ready to go to my son's basketball game, I'll shut it off, fill it clear up with fuel again, start it back up, and I'll let it go, and we'll see how long it'll stay running tonight. Well, I think I said I had to leave to go to the basketball game at 4, but it was actually at 6. So it's about 5 o'clock now. I'm gonna shut this thing off, let it cool down for just a minute, refuel it, pump it back up, and start it back up. I'm gonna let it go while I'm gone at the basketball game tonight, and then I'll let it go till either it runs out of fuel or I go to bed tonight, whichever comes first. The super glue seems to be holding. I think I heat treated it into place and it's holding together. Alright, I'll pause this for just a minute, refuel it, and then I'll turn the camera back on when I light it back up again. Okay, I let it cool down for just a few minutes before I fueled it back up. We'll pump it up now and see how it lights after it's had a few hours of run time already. Well, there we go. It lit right back up. But it was still warm. I let it cool off for a few minutes so that it wouldn't burst into flames when I took the fuel cap off, but it was still pretty warm, so I expected it to light right back up pretty good there. Alright, well, I gotta leave and drive about 18 miles from home to go to a basketball game, so I'm gonna just leave this go, see if it's still burning when I get back home from the basketball game. It's about, let me look and see what time it is now. 7:40. So it's been a couple hours since that's been about 2 hours and 35 minutes since I shut it down, fueled it and pumped it back up and restarted it. Still burning good. It definitely could stand to be pumped up. So let's pump it up a little bit here. There we go. Burning nice and bright. And it's pretty safe to say this one's back to being a good usable lantern now. One of the last lantern videos that I made that I was here at home. Actually, I think it might have been one I recorded at Dad's. Somebody in the comments said you forgot to put away the chickens, so I never forget to put away the chickens. Let's go out and close up the chickens tonight. Make sure they're all in there. Got a couple sleeping in the nesting boxes for some reason. Huh. Look at that. Somebody laid an egg on the front porch today. There we go. I'll let that burn for a couple more hours and I'll come out and check on it again. Well, it's about 10:30 at night. My alarm is going to be going off and I have to get up and go to work in about 6 hours and 15 minutes. So I would say it's about time to shut down the old 275 and put it away for the night. I think that the super glue seems to be holding okay. So let's shut this off. And I'll put it in the garage for the night and get headed into bed. Thank you all for watching. Please hit the subscribe and the like button. Come on back next week. We'll have a video or something for you to watch here. Thanks for watching, folks.